What is up, Poke People? Welcome to another Pokemon card opening. I have a bunch of Scarlet and Violet Journey Together items here. Yesterday, of course, was the first day that local game stores could sell to the public, and so I was able to go out and pick up a few things. Now, everybody knows it is very, very hard to find any product at all right now. So what we're going to do, even though I have one booster box, one ETB, and a booster bundle here, what I'm going to do is, in this video, I'm just going to open up the booster box. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this video into 3 parts. So that I'm going to open 12 booster packs right now, and then I'm going to open 12 more booster packs later, and then I'll open the final set of 12 in a third video. So, here we have the booster box, and every booster box, if you didn't know this, is the enhanced one. The only ones that didn't come with the box topper were the ones that were included in pre-release kits. Now, the pre-release kits are what LGSs use to run their pre-release events. So, all boxes that were sold just to the public should have the Ends Reshiram box topper. Like so. See, it's got the Journey Together stamp there. Nice, cool promo. So, if you went out and bought yourself a booster box that was sold to the general public, it should come with this card. So we will set this guy off to the side, and I will take this booster box here, and I'm going to pull out 12 packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So, I'm going to open those up right now, and then I will open up the rest of them later. So, like I said, Journey Together is finally here. It is the English equivalent of the Battle Partners set in Japan, and it pretty much is a full duplicate version, right? There isn't really any other sets that were included in this. Maybe there were some trainer sets over in Japan that were included in here, but this should be one of these smaller sets as well. Now, we have to look forward to Destined Rivals here later in the couple of months. That will include 2 Japanese sets, Heatwave Arena and the Glory of Team Rocket. Now, that was just the Destined Rivals ETB were just released on the Pokemon Center within the last day or two, and it was, let me tell you, it was a true mess. So, I was not able to actually get anything for it. Hopefully, maybe you did. I don't know. But let's take a look. Here is our first pack. So we're going to start off with a Larvesta, Beldum, Kamala, Banette, Hops Bag, Pangoro, a reverse Tredegon, a reverse Coughing, and my first rare is a Iono's Kilowattrel. Now that is able to highlight the importance of this set. This set features the return of owner's Pokemon. As you can see right down here in the side, we have the trainer Iono. Kilowattrel has Flash and Draw ability, discarding a basic lightning energy from this Pokemon in order to use this ability, so that once during your turn you may draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. That's a pretty good ability. Really, any ability that lets you draw cards is pretty great. So that was a nice start. Let's move on to the next pack. The booster art features N and N Zoroark. Very nice. Now, the main card in this set that everyone seems to want is Lillie's Clefairy. We'll see if we can find that redeemable ticket. We have a reverse Grimmsnarl. Billy Anonair, that's a new trainer. I haven't seen this one yet. Draw 2 cards. If you have 10 or more in hand, draw 2 more. That's okay. There's not gonna be many times when you're gonna have that many cards already in your hand. So I don't really see this card having much of an impact in the game. And my rare is Ludicolo. With the Vibrant Dance ability, all of your Pokemon in play get plus 40 hit points. The effect of Vibrant Dance doesn't stack. Not much of a start there out of 2 packs. Let's move on to the next one. Still looking for our first real hit. Looking for some illustration rares or secret illustration rares. Hops Corvisquire, Grimmsnarl. We have a reverse Audino, a reverse Zorua, and a Mimikyu EX. Alright, there's our first hit out of the set. Mimikyu has 2 attacks, Mischievous Hands. Choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon and put 3 damage counters on each of them. And Ghostly Trip does 120 damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. That really shines well in the lights. So that's a nice little hit there. Move on to the next pack. We'll go through these a little quicker here. Cufant, Sprigatito, Silicobra Fungus, Brock's Scouting, Volcarona. We have a reverse Fungus, Hops Corvisquire, and a Hops Snorlax. This guy was pretty useful, I think, in the pre-releases. I actually was unable to get to any pre-release events for this set. I was on vacation. I tried to go to one, but it did not work. I had to leave, and it was actually already booked, which was impressive. I have not been to an event that was completely full in a long time. Pancham, Minchino, Petalil, Ens Klinklang, Ens Castle. I haven't seen this stadium yet. Ens Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. Well, that is very useful if you're playing an Ens deck. And that is the big thing in this set. You know, like I said, you have trainers returning, trainers Pokemon returning. A lot of the trainers Pokemon have interactions that work well together. So Hops Pokemon do well together, Ens Pokemon have a good interactions. All right, there we have one. Maractus, illustration rare. Let's take a look at this guy. That's really cool. He's a dancing cactus. He has an ability, Exploding Needles. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. That can be okay. Anytime you're able to get some damage on your opponent's Pokemon is pretty good. His attack is Corner for 1 colorless energy. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. So it's a good stall. It can be a good stall attacker. But with only 110 hit points, it's not going to last very long. Because it only says the Pokemon can't retreat. It doesn't say anything about being unable to attack. So, but that's a nice illustration rare that we hit there. So our first real good hit. Not including the Mimikyu EX, of course. Because that's honestly just a regular EX. Alright, let's see what else we got. Ans Darumaka, Noibat, Alolan Geodude, Lotad, Low-Kicks, Iris's Fighting Spirit. You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. And then you draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. That could be pretty useful. We'll have to see, really. There's a lot of trainers right now. There's a lot of supporters. It might not get used much. I'm not really sure. Virizion. We have a reverse Lotad, a reverse Oricorio, and, way, look at him. Look at the Dunsparce EX. This is a full art the Dunsparce EX. He has 270 HP. He's a big little worm guy. He has 2 attacks. First one for 1 colors is Tenacious Tail, 60x. This attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX in play. That can be okay. Most decks aren't going to have that many Pokemon EX in play, but some might. And then for 3 colorless, you have Destructive Drill for 150. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, I mean, it's okay. It's not great. He might have some, synergy with the other Dunsparce that lets you draw. So, I mean, you could maybe see him being played in that kind of a deck, but I don't really see him, being played that much overall. So, but he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy there. Look at him. We'll set him up there. All right. Let's see. Looks like we're about a little over halfway through our first 12 packs. This next one has a Piloswine, Cufant, Sprigatito, Hopsilicobra, Copperajah, Redeemable Ticket. All right, let me see what this one was. This one was count your prize cards, shuffle them, and put them on the bottom of your deck. Then take that many cards from the top of your deck and put them face down as your prize cards. Like, I see this card probably getting a little bit of play, really. Because it's a good way to know that if you have something in your prize cards, you can at least get it out of the prize cards and into your deck. Like, if you really, really need, like, a certain ace spec that you know is prized, and you just can't seem to find it, right? This will at least let you get it out of the prizes into your deck. You may lose some other card that is useful to you, and you have to put it in the prizes, but you'll at least get that one card out of the prizes that you needed. So I could definitely see this card getting some play. Spiky Energy. As long as this card is attached, it provides a colorless entry. If this Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if the Pokemon is knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. All right, so I mean, it's like, oh god, what was it? Spiky Helmet, something? Was that the one I'm thinking of? I can't really. My mind's not working right now. I mean, that's an okay energy. I don't know if it'll actually see much play though. Matang, a Noibat, and a Mamoswine EX. Look at him. Look at the big elephant. Or whatever you want to call him. Big mammoth. He's huge. 340 hit points. Problem, of course, is he's a stage 2, so it's a little harder to get him into play. But he has an ability, Mammoth Hauler. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. That's pretty useful. If you obviously can get him into play. And like I said, 340 HP is pretty big. That's a pretty big guy. Now, looking forward, we've already seen the reveals of the Mega Pokemon that will be coming relatively soon. I'm not exactly sure when. No one is exactly sure when. But as a stage 2 with 340, he doesn't really hold up to those Mega Pokemon, but you never know. We'll just have to see. Maybe there'll be another card that has some synergy with him that can make him really, really good. All right, let's keep going. We got a Sentret, an Enzarua, Tropius, Swinub. That goes well with the Mamoswine. Hop's Choice Band, Articuno, Postwick. We have a Reverse Professor's Research, Hop's Silicobra, and a Metagross. So nice, nice. Not really anything too exciting in that pack. Next up, we have a Foongus, Enzdarumaka, another Noibat. That is really a cool, like, artwork there, with, like, coloring in the background and everything. A Alolan Geodude, Excelgor, Hop's Corviknight. I heard that Hop's cards were pretty much unstoppable at the pre-releases. Like I said, I wasn't able to actually go to them, but they were pretty unstoppable, is what I heard. Reverse Milcery, or Milcery, I don't know how to say it. Iris's Fighting Spirit, and a Lycanroc. He's cool. I always like Lycanroc. He looks so tough. Look at him. All right. 3 more packs in this set of cards. All right, we have a Delmise, Black Belts Training. There's a couple arts of this one. And with Black Belt's training, during this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. That can be pretty useful. Really can. Alright, Shelmet, Rockruff, Cloth, Lavincia. Let me see, what does this do? Once during each player's turn, that player might put up to 2 basic lightning energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. Ooh. There's a lot of support cards for lightning Pokemon. Let's see. Alolan Marowak. We have a reverse Paldean Wooper, reverse Impidimp, and a Magmortar. He has the ability Magma Surge. During Pokemon Checkup, put 3 more damage counters on your opponent's burned Pokemon. That's alright. You really don't see much... You really don't see many Pokemon being useful with burn in the game nowadays. You just don't see it. It's... Unless you're playing that crazy Cloth deck. Where you need all kinds of conditions on your opponent. Alright. Second to last pack. Let's see. Lotad, Sentret, Enzarua, Tropius, Regice. Ooh, a Regi Pokemon. Another Iris's Fighting Spirit. I'm going to have a play set of those by the end of the day. An Octillery, a reverse Hops Wooloo, a reverse Hops Cramorant. This guy. What a pain this guy is. Especially at the pre-releases is what I heard. Fickle Spitting for 1 colorless does 120. If your opponent doesn't have exactly 3 or 4 prize cards remaining, this attack does nothing. However, at a pre-release, you start with only 4 prize cards. So this guy was attacking, like, turn 2 going first. Or, excuse me, turn 1 going second. This guy was, you attach 1 energy to him, he's hitting your opponent for 120 already. That's ridiculous. And a Noivern. Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. For my first 12 packs, let's have some last card magic with this Lillie and Lillie's Clefairy there. Look at them trolloping around. Alright, last pack magic. We have a Caterpie, old school Pokemon. Magmar, ooh, another old school Pokemon. Hops Wooloo, Beldum, Lily's Pearl. If the Lily's Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, that player takes 1 fewer prize card. This is going to see some play. I don't know how, but it definitely will. Banette, Pangoro. We have a reverse Iono's Electrode, a reverse Lombre, and my final of the first opening is a Volcanion EX. He has 220 HP, an ability, Scalding Steam, once during your turn. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burned. So, I mean, there's another Pokemon that does burn just by itself. So that could go well with the, where was it? What was the other one? The Magmortar we were looking at, I think it was. Scorching Cyclone for 2 fire and a colorless. Does 160, and you move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. Alright, so that is 12 cards down. Let's see what we got here real quick from that first 12. This, of course, was the good old box topper, so he doesn't count. But we got 5 hits out of 12. That's pretty good. 3 EXs, an illustration rare, and the full art EX with the Dunsparce. So, come back in a couple days. I'm going to do the rest of this box opening and post it. So, yeah. We will see you in a couple days in my next opening. All right. Bye, everybody.